Hi everybody, welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Chris here, thanks for joining me once again. Today I'm bringing you my review of the latest release from Paco Rabanne, and that is 1 Million Unlucky. Lucky. Stay tuned to FM. I recently came across a sample of 1 Million Lucky. I've finished it off, so I've given it a good wearing, and I thought I'd put forth my review for you. So this is a flanker to the 2008 original 1 Million. It's Eau de Toilette concentration. Notes in the top are ozonic notes, prune, grapefruit. In the mid, hazelnut, cedar, cashmere wood, jasmine and honey. And in the base, patchouli and oak moss. I wasn't the biggest fan of the original 1 Million. I found it quite sweet. It had that much talked about bubblegum accord, but there wasn't really much else going on there for me. It wasn't particularly interesting or complex. I quite enjoyed 1 Million Privé. There was more going on, that was a bit more grown up, had a bit more complexity, but I still don't think I enjoyed it enough to buy a full bottle. I didn't think I would get enough wear out of it. So is 1 Million Lucky the one to change that? Will I be buying a bottle of this? Do I want to have this in my collection? Let's find out. Lucky is a sweet, woodsy scent. It does have that bubblegum accord that's present in the DNA of the original, but it's not as sweet, it's not quite as prominent. Hazelnut is another note listed. Hazelnut to me is quite a strong smell, so I thought it would dominate this fragrance, but yeah, it's there, I get a bit of it, but it certainly isn't hazelnut dominant. Not in the same way that the chestnut accord in Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace is this really boosted, gorgeous roasted chestnut accord. It's just beautiful. I think what I mainly get from this is the sweetness of the honey and the woodsy depth of the cedar. There's maybe a little bit of greenness going on in there, which could be the patchouli, but other than that, it's a fairly linear fragrance. It doesn't really develop that much during its life. It's okay, it's quite pleasant, I don't hate it, I certainly don't love it, and I wouldn't describe it as exhilarating as Paco Rabanne do in their marketing. The biggest negative for me with this release is the performance. I don't mind topping up a nice scent every 4 to 5 hours, re-releasing those top notes and extending the life of the fragrance, but this one fizzled out after about an hour to barely a skin scent, so really underwhelming, really lackluster. I wore this for work on several occasions and I'd started to think the performance wasn't really there. So in case it was me going nose blind, I decided to ask some of my colleagues what they thought of it. I asked 3 different colleagues on separate occasions and all of them confirmed that they weren't really picking up much of a scent, if anything at all. If they put their nose right up to my skin where I'd sprayed it, they were maybe getting a faint scent, but other than that, they weren't picking up on anything. I even sprayed it on clothes as well, just to try and prolong the performance, and that didn't really help that much either. One of the people that I asked, I sprayed the scent, I reapplied about 10 minutes before I asked her, and she still wasn't really getting much from this fragrance. So for me, that confirmed that the performance really is pretty weak. Certainly for me, it may be different for you. I would advise try a sample on skin if you can, really give it a good wearing before you make the decision to buy this. But unfortunately for me, it just doesn't perform. I even went to the gym wearing this to see if warming up my skin would help boost the performance, and that didn't really have much of an effect either. So I feel like I've given this a good, rigorous test in terms of its performance. I wore it on several occasions. I tried to give it a chance and it just wasn't really working out for me. I'm sure that there will be people out there that are going to write in the comments they get a beast mode performance from this, they don't have an issue. Well, that's great. I really am pleased for you. I wish I got that kind of performance off it, but unfortunately I don't. And it's all subjective and fragrances work differently for different people. So I hope you get a good performance, but personally for me, I didn't get a good performance at all. I must say I've also had performance issues with other recent releases from Paco Rabanne, Invictus Intense, Invictus Aqua 2018. I really enjoyed both those scents, but the performance, it just wasn't there for me, really frustrating. It certainly wasn't good enough to warrant buying a full bottle of each of those scents. They're kind of like when you're sucking a really nice sweet or a bit of candy, really pleasurable while it's in your mouth, but as soon as you've finished it, the taste is just gone pretty quickly and you want to pop another one in straight away just to get that taste back. At the moment, I just can't get excited about any recent releases from Paco Rabanne based on some of their latest releases. I'd like to see them coming out with something maybe a bit stronger, has better performance, perhaps even a little bit more daring in terms of the scents, maybe a bit more complex. I know they have to be crowd pleasing and very commercial to be able to sell and bring in the money, but I still think there's scope for them to just push the boundaries a little bit further in terms of making those fragrances a little bit more interesting. I think that we're going in the right direction with 1 million Privé. I still think that that could have been pushed even a little bit further. Perhaps it could have been an eau de parfum concentration. Maybe this would work better as an eau de parfum. Who knows? But unfortunately, at the moment, I'm not really getting that excited about anything that Paco Rabanne's coming out with. One of the positives that Lucky does have is its versatility. This could be worn by any age, any gender, on any occasion, any time of year. So, pretty versatile. If you like the scent and it lasts for you, then the 60 or so pounds that you would pay here in the UK for a 100ml bottle of this may be worth it for you. I think Lucky's going to sell really well for Paco Rabanne. It's got that association with the very popular original 1 million. It'll be in gift sets, it'll be bought as presents for birthdays and Christmas. And I can see people going into department stores, smelling it on a tester strip, really enjoying those sweet, crowd-pleasing top notes and spending £60 on 100ml of juice. So I think it's going to sell really well. It'll do well for Paco Rabanne. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying this scent is reasonably interesting, if a little unremarkable. It lacks any real distinctive character, and the performance for me is lackluster. If I was to rate it out of 10, I would just give it a 6. This scent for me was definitely unlucky, and I won't be adding it to my collection. That's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts. Have you tried this fragrance? Is it a beast for you? Does this perform really well? Am I the only unlucky one in terms of performance with 1 million Lucky? Let me know. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell to enable notifications. And until next time, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.